to my channel. Today for you all, I'm going to be doing my March wrap-up and my April TBR. And so first things first, I'm going to start with my wrap-up. And in the month of March, I read The Iron Trial by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare, one of my two favorite authors. Holly Black's book, The Coldest Girl in Cold Town, is amazing. I've probably already talked about it in one of my past videos, but it's just phenomenal. You need to go read it. And then Cassandra Clare, you all know probably, she's the author of The Mortal Instruments and The Infernal Devices. Excuse me, I'm kind of sick. And she just came out with her new book, Lady Midnight, in the month of March, which I haven't gotten to yet, but you know, I'll get there eventually. Next, I read City of Glass by Cassandra Clare. And this book was, wow, this was really good. This was my favorite out of all of the installments I've read so far. And this was just, wow. The next book and last book that I read in the month of March was City of Fallen Angels. And this book, like, it was kind of a slowdown from City of Glass because you go from wow to, oh, that was okay. It's like, oh, it played out well. The plot line made sense. But the action didn't come until, like, the end. And so it's a slow beginning. But you just kind of have to struggle through and you got to hang in there with that, because it gets better. And now, on to my TBR. So, City of Lost Souls. I was reading this book in the month of March, but I've been busy with a lot of stuff in my life right now. So I haven't had time to finish it, but I'm halfway through it, as you can see. So, yeah, this was supposed to be on my wrap-up, but you know, life happens. And so, this is on my TBR. It's on my TBR to finish. And after City of Lost Souls, which is actually pretty good, by the way, it's getting interesting. And it's like, it's really hard to put down, but it's easy to put down. It's one of those books where you're like, oh, I want to know what happens, but you're like, I don't really care if I pick it back up ASAP or if I don't touch it tonight. Like, you know, it's just something like that. And next on my TBR for April is City of Heavenly Fire, after Lost Souls, of course. And this book, everybody says this book is so good, and I'm super excited to get to this, but I'm just kind of, there are some things I was spoiled for, mostly just one, but like I have this one friend who just doesn't know when to shut up when it comes to talking about a series, especially when you clearly state you haven't read it yet. She'll just go on and on and on and talk about it some more. And it's like, I love you, but you just can't stop. Just stop, okay? Just stop. Because if you spoil it, then you know I'm going to have to put you in a chokehold. She knows I'm talking to her right now. Anyway, City of Heavenly Fire. Next, I'm getting into some more comic graphic novel type stuff. And next I have Maximum Ride Volume 9. And this is Maximum Ride by James Patterson. And he's the author of a lot. I'm going to leave it at a lot. You've probably heard of James Patterson. And it's drawn by Nerea Lee, and her drawings are actually really good, and the manga series is really good too. Even though I haven't read the actual physical book form of the Maximum Ride series, I've started the manga first, and the manga is really good. It makes me really excited to start the actual book series. And so I'm really looking forward to this because the 8th installment, that ending was like, what? So it's just, you know, yeah. Next is Saga Volume 5. I heard of this through BookTube, and I also heard of it through librarians and just people in the YA world in general. And this, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm kind of controversial about it because, like, I'm not exactly sure where the story is gonna go from now, but I'm still excited to get to it. I mean, I find the story good, but like, I just want to know where it's going, and I can't guess it. And a lot of stuff I've guessed where it went, and it went there, and I'm just kind of used to that right now. And so not knowing where it's going to go is great, but irritating at the same time. Next is The Wicked and the Divine, Commercial Suicide. This book. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about this book because I read the first one, it didn't make sense to me. I read the second one, it was better than the first, but it still didn't make any sense. Like, the quality of the story was okay, but like, they don't explain anything. What type, like, the whole, I'm just gonna read the back of this. This is a summary of not this book, but all of the books in general. Every 90 years, 12 gods return as young people. They are loved, they are hated. In 2 years, they are all dead. It's happening now, it's happening again. Now, when I first heard of the first book, it sounded pretty good. But the thing is, they don't explain what type of gods they are. I tried even Googling some of their names. I came up with nothing. Well, when I say that, I mean Google one person's name, and I came up empty. And so, it's just, And then what happened in the second book, it's just kind of like, okay, how are you going to proceed with a story with your motives that you had in the second book that ended up doing something to completely throw the rest of your series off track? Like, I don't understand what's going to go on in this book. I mean, I'm kind of excited, but I'm kind of just like, I just want to see where this goes. And honestly, I have very low expectations because what they did in the last book, I'm just kind of like, I don't even get it. I feel like this is a spin-off series and not that they and I just feel like this is a spin-off series of some type in that they didn't try to go into depth any type of world building. They just kind of jumped in like, oh, this is what's going on, these are the characters, this is what's going to go down, and nobody cared to explain anything or background, and it really is just confusing. Like, it makes it very hard to try and love these books. Like, you just can't love them, you just live with them. Well, that concludes my March wrap up and my April TBR. Thank you guys for watching, and feel free to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and yeah, see you guys later. Bye!